Okay, today I am starting on another graffiti tumbler. Yeah, this one's going to be on a 20-ounce Maker Flow Skinny. It is prepped and painted white, and these are going to be my bricks. This is Oracal 651 permanent matte vinyl, and I'm going to color my bricks with alcohol inks. I'm going to start with kind of a natural color brick. I'm going to mix sienna, terracotta, and maybe just a hint of rosewood. I do have my gloves on because I don't want my hands covered in ink. I'm going to use a sponge dauber for this one. I'm just going to do a little bit of that rosewood. I'm going to concentrate on the terracotta for this one. And I don't weed this till after I color it. Because I don't want too much of the ink seeping underneath onto the adhesive. So this one's going to be a little bit different than the Ink Week one. This one is going to get some sparkle. It's going to get my favorite, cheat glitter. I don't know why I'm going so far to the bottom. I forgot to move these on my mat, so they cut a little bit off of where they were intended to. It's fine. I'll still have enough brick to do the whole cup. So that is my actual brick. I'm going to set that one aside. And I'm not going to do all of these on camera because I have 4 of them to do. But that's that one. I'm going to set these ones aside. And I'm just going to open up a whole mess of colored inks. And grab a fresh dauber. You can use makeup wedges for this as well. So I just got a variety of color. Assorted brands. Doesn't really matter. You just kind of want a little bit of everything. Trying to get some of these open is a little bit difficult. So, same thing. I'm just going to put a little bit of each color on. And I'm not going to do these as like a full wrap. I'm going to kind of mix up the color a little bit, so it doesn't really matter how it goes on. A little bit more green, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and do the last 2 in my other colors, and I will come back when I start laying the pieces on the thing. Once they're done, I'm going to let them sit for a bit to dry so my transfer tape doesn't pull the ink. Okay, so these are all done and weeded. So I'm going to start applying them to the cup. I'm going to start at the top rim. Get these inks out of the way. And I'm just going to do small sections at a time, just to be able to line them up. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. And this is a straight skinny, so this will be easier to apply. But I'm just going to kind of mix up what I've got going on. You can see the transfer tape is picking up just a tiny bit of the ink. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. This part can be kind of tedious and time consuming. If you wanted to do it as a full wrap, by all means, cut it as one piece and lay it out. For me, that just doesn't work very well. So some spots you may run across this where you have a little single piece to fill. And that is why I did keep the little single bits on the bottom of a couple of these sheets. So you'll just grab one of them half bricks and fill it in. But I'm just going to work my way around the cup and fill it all. Again, this part can be tedious, so I'm not going to show you every bit of it. But you get the idea. So I will come back when it is completely done and I will show you the next step. Okay, I am ready to get some epoxy on this. I have my epoxy mixed up. I am going to add my favorite, my girl's best friend cheat glitter from It's Pretty Personal. I'm going to add this to pretty much every layer. So give it a good healthy little shake there and mix that in. Try and work relatively quick. This epoxy is ready to go. So I have about 20 mLs here, if that, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's plenty for a first coat on this one. Don't forget to get the bottom. This is going to get 1 to 2 coats. Depends on how it settles into these bricks, if it gets another coat or not, before I do the power wash step, which is the next step for this one. So you'll see me put this coat on. I'll decide if it needs another coat after that, and then hopefully I'll get some weather where I can do some power wash. It'll depend on how much time I have, what the weather's like, if I bring you out for that step or not, because sometimes I can just sneak in and out, but I don't have time to like set everything up outside. Our weather has been pretty uncooperative lately. So I've got all my resin on. I am just going to smooth it out, make sure I've got full coverage. Again, this is just a fairly thin coat. It doesn't need a ton. Most of my tumblers end up with about 3 coats of resin, and sometimes more depending on the style, but for a cup like this it'll be 3. This coat, like I said, was maybe slightly under 20 mLs. And the next coat will probably be 20 mLs. And then the coat after that will be somewhere between 10 and 15 most likely for the final coat. If I need another coat after this, before I can go to the power wash, that'll be another thinner coat. But most of my cups of this size average about 50 mLs total. It's a question a lot of people have, is what the total is. And a lot of people end up, like, you'll hear them saying they've ended up with like 100 mLs on a cup. That's too much. So that is it. I will be back at some point in the process. Okay, so this is where I'm at with this. I am ready for the power wash layer. But before I go out and power wash it, I'm not going to bring you out because it is drizzly and you've seen me do it before. But I want to mark off roughly where my decal is going to go. So I'm going to put my decal on this section. So I'm going to mark it with a Sharpie. This will enable me to know where I need to really concentrate the power wash. If I really concentrate it here, the paint won't cover that section. And this will wipe off with alcohol when I'm done. So, like I said, I'm going to go out and do the power wash. I'm going to spray it with the soap. If I can find the soap. So I'm going to spray sections with the soap. I'm going to concentrate heavy here. And then I'm just going to go over it with black spray paint. And then I'm going to rinse it off real quick. Just like that. I will be back when the power wash is on. Okay, so this is all power washed. I'm just going to get my decal transferred on quick and get a coat of epoxy on her. I gotta move this just a little bit so I can see it. My little chameleon with the Be the Change. And I do have, yep. I have a little bit of that Sharpie on there that I need to get off. If I can. It's sort of in this resin a little bit. I don't know if it's because this is a different resin than I normally use, but usually the Sharpie just comes right off. I mean, it's at least lighter, but alright. Okay, so I have my resin mixed up. I have my cheat glitter handy. I'm just going to get my gloves on quick so I don't get resin on my hands. Turn on the turner. Let you see the rest of the cup. And I'm going to get this coat on, and it's going to get one more coat tomorrow, but it's not going to be any different than it is now. So, but I've got my girl's best friend treat again. I'm just going to give it a good sprinkle. Maybe a little more than I did in the last coat. Mixed in. And this is sitting a little crooked right now. This isn't where this turner sits to actually spin. When I move it, I will be sure to straighten it up. So, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I mixed up 20 mLs for this coat. Just because I do want a good coat over that power wash method. The next coat is going to be a little bit thinner. I also used this CC DIY fast set for the last coat and this coat. The next coat will get a, I'm probably going to use some of that last little bit of the KS resin I have. I just really love the way these look. I'd like to, if I find time, do one like this for myself. It's probably one of my favorite tumblers I ever made, and I'm glad I got the chance to make it again. So, I love the way the glitter looks over the power wash. It's picking up a lot of green, but I'm wearing a really bright aqua green shirt, and I think it's picking up a lot of the reflection off of that also. So, alright, I'm going to get my glove off. I'm going to give it a quick torch from pretty far back. The fast sets don't need a lot of heat, and it really wasn't terribly bubbly, so I just want to check for bubbles quick and smooth out any thicker spots. So that's it. That's all it's going to get. So I am going to go ahead and bring you down for a close-up, because this is the last you will see of this cutie. Get my finger out of the way would help. It is beautiful. Sorry about the reflection from the ring light. It's pretty dark out. Dark and dreary seems to be the name of the game here these days. And I'll show you the bottom. A lot of power wash, a little bit of the brick showing through. A little bit of every color. A lot of shimmer in that glitter. Love that section there. I power washed around that on purpose. Cute little chameleon. So, that is it for this one. Thank you.